Hi, you guys. Welcome back for our daily practice questions. As always, you know I like to get into my introduction and disclaimer before getting started with our questions for today. So, for those of you who are familiar with me, hey y'all. For those of you who are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. Brittany Weinstock. I am a family nurse practitioner and the founder and CEO of the Nursing Studio. I provide resources, tools, review books, review courses, and review videos to assist nurses as well as nurse practitioners with success on their boards as well as in practice. I've been doing this since 2015, assisting nurses and nurse practitioners internationally with exam success, and I would love to work with you as well if needed. But as always, I like to get into my disclaimer reminder that we know there's no absolutes in medicine. We treat on a patient by patient basis, and any of the questions that you see here are based off of things that I have created based off of the guidelines that are currently being tested on the ANCC as well as AANP exam. So, with that being said, let's get into question number one for today. Question number one states a 19-year-old female patient presents to the office today for follow up. She is inquiring if she should get a pap smear now as she is sexually active. What is the best response by the nurse practitioner? Is it A, yes, we should begin now as you are sexually active? B, no, we start at the age of 21 years old? C, guidelines recommend starting at the age of 20 years old? Or D, you should have started at the age of 18? Take a moment and tell me what you got in the comments, you guys. All right, I always recommend reading the stem of the question first because it allows you to slow down to ensure that you're answering what is even being asked of you. So here, the stem of the question states, what is the best response by the nurse practitioner? All right, so what are we responding to? We have a 19-year-old female in the office. She's just here for follow-up. She's inquiring about when to begin her pap smears. She's wondering if she should start it now due to being sexually active. So what would be the best answer by the nurse practitioner? Is it A, yes, we should begin now as you are sexually active? No. Remember that the current guidelines state that it doesn't even matter if they're sexually active anymore. You remember in the past, it was start at 18 or when they're sexually active, whichever comes first, right? But now guidelines strictly say B, we start at the age of 21, no matter if they're sexually active or not. We start at age 21, okay? So remember that with cervical cytology, we start at the age of 21. So B is your best answer. All right, question number two. The nurse practitioner and the NP student are discussing how often cervical cytology should be completed. The NP student is inquiring if it is annually. What is the best response by the nurse practitioner? Is it A, yes, this is an annual screening exam? B, no, this should be completed every 2 years if they do not have any abnormal results? C, no, this should be completed every 3 years if they do not have any abnormal results? Or D, it depends on what age the patient began. Take a moment and tell me what you got in the comments. All right, so stem of the question states, what is the best response by the nurse practitioner? Again, what are we responding to? So the nurse practitioner and NP student are discussing how often cervical cytology should be completed. So, okay, remember, we just discussed this, that we start at the age of 21, right? No matter their sexual history. We begin at 21. Now, is it A, we do it every year? No, in the past, we used to do pap smears, cervical cytology every year. Current guidelines and the guidelines that are currently being tested on boards, we're following. We do cervical cytology every 3 years, right? So C is your best answer. We do it every 3 years. Now, if they have an abnormal, yes, you would need to do it annually, but the standard guidelines, no abnormal history, you're going to start at 21 and you're going to do the cervical cytology every 3 years. C is your answer. All right, and lastly, question number three for today. The nurse practitioner and NP student are discussing how often do we co-test? As cervical cytology and high-risk HPV co-testing is an option, what is the best answer as to how often this should be completed? Is it every year? Is it B, every 3 years? C, every 5 years? Or D, every 2 years? Take a moment and tell me what you got in the comments. All right, so stem of the question here states, as cervical cytology and higher risk HPV co-testing is an option, what is the best answer as to how often this should be completed? And truthfully, that is your question right there, right? That stem tells you everything you need to answer. So they've been discussing co-testing. How often do we co-test? And this is a knowledge-based question, but the best answer is C, every 5 years. So remember, um, when we have women the age 30 to 65, there's three different options for screening, right? So we do our cervical cytology every 3 years. You can continue to do that. Or you could opt to do the high risk HPV by itself every 5 years. Or there's the option of co testing, doing the cervical cytology and the high risk HPV every 5 years, right? So we do cervical cytology every 3 years by itself. You can do high risk HPV every 5 years by itself, or we can do both of those together as a co-test every 5 years. Okay. So here again, the answer would have been every 5 years. All right, you guys, I hope you found this helpful. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with whomever you may think may find this beneficial as well. But y'all make sure you meet me back here. If you need any other resources that I offer, please feel free to reach out to the nursing studio. I have the review book option, ebook or paperback, both linked in the bio of this channel, up at the top in bold, as well as the self-paced review course where you can work through all of the systems individually, watching videos, and there's many practice questions that you can work through as well. This is designed for family and adult gero nurse practitioners preparing for either exam, ANCC as well as AAMP. There is a non-clinical section included in that review as well. Our 5 week review is currently going on, so be on the lookout. The next one, we do a group review, 5 week intensive, periodically throughout the year. And then lastly is our one on one sessions. One on one sessions, there's three different options that you can select from. If there's a particular weakness, like, hey, Brittany, I struggle with asthma. I want to book a session so you can help me get this together. That's an option. Or if you are getting prepared for boards, it's getting close, and you want to assess your exam readiness, that's an option. Or our last session is the custom package, where say you've been unsuccessful before and you're looking for guidance and structure to get you back on track, to see what you need to do differently, to guide you with study and work alongside with you and bring you from unsuccessful to successful. That's the third option. But as always, I always say to reach out either by phone or email to see what exactly you need, especially with those one-on-one sessions, because they're so customized, so that we can gauge what really will work best for you. Okay. So you can give us a call at 803-400-6864, or shoot a text message to this number, or shoot an email to the nursing studio, the number one at gmail.com. But make sure you meet me back here. Happy studying. Bye, y'all.